Hi everybody, thanks for coming to this week's Page Inc. webinar. Today we're going to be talking about how to measure your success on Twitter. So my name is Josh Allen. I'm one of the social media strategists here at Orange Soda. And Crystal Burns is not here with us today, but she helped me put these slides together. She's also one of the social media strategists here at Orange Soda on our Page Inc. team. Anyways, this isn't a very long webinar that we're going to have today. I don't have too many slides for you guys, but it is really important stuff to remember because a lot of us get kind of lost in really our purpose in using Twitter as businesses. So as always, if you guys have questions as we're going through these slides, feel free to email us at pageincsupport@orangesoda.com with those questions, and as soon as we get off the webinar here, we'll respond to those questions and help you find your answers. So definitely get those questions ready. All right, so the first thing that we hear people ask when they first start on Twitter is, how do I know if I'm doing a good job? So we're going to be talking mostly about that today, and as a business, obviously you want to be making revenue. You want to kind of turn that dial up to max on the ROI, and so, you know, as a business, your overall goal is bringing in more money. So what leads to making more money on Twitter? So things like mentions, retweets, having a relevant following, and frequent real conversations, all those things are going to lead to making more money for you guys as a company. So, you know, those are small things on Twitter, but in a, you know, on the business side of things, those are going to bring more customers and bring more money into your business. So we're going to talk about some of those things. So first off, a mention. So for those of you who have been using Twitter for a while, this might kind of be an overview of some of the terminology that they use over at Twitter. But anyways, a mention is any Twitter update that contains a username anywhere in the body of the tweet. So you can see down at the bottom, I have an example. One of my friends, Cameron, he tweeted at me. He said, "It's Friday, webinars on Friday with Josh Allen 07. So Josh Allen 07, that used to be my Twitter handle or Twitter username. So Cameron, in his tweet, he just mentioned my name. And you can do that for any business account, so any company or any personal Twitter account as well. So get mentioned. The more you get mentioned, the more people are likely to follow you, and also the more people you are seen by. So getting noticed on Twitter is all about sharing high quality and interesting content. You know, you don't want to be sharing the same exact thing over and over and over again. People will get burnt out. They'll get bored of it. So you want to be sure that you're sharing, you know, some good high quality content. And if you're not getting mentioned, then change how you tweet. Change what you're sharing and change how you're sharing it. All right, so the next one is retweets. So what a retweet is basically someone forwarding another user's tweet to all of their followers. So in this example, let's say your business just got started on Twitter, just gained a Twitter or just opened a Twitter account, and you only have 6 followers. But you want to announce you know, a new product, or you've got a new product announcement today. So you tweet something, you say, "New product announcement today, please retweet." And then let's say one of your 6 followers that you have there has 6,000 followers, and they retweet your tweet. You can see down in the bottom section, you can see RT at you, new product announcement today, please retweet. So they share that to all of their 6,000 followers. So it gets you a mention. It also retweets what you tweeted about, so more people are made aware of that new product announcement. So right now I'm gonna open up Twitter so you can see kind of how we do this, just so you can get a better understanding. So right now on your screen you should be looking, or you should see the Twitter interface and the Twitter framework. So I'm logged into Twitter. Right now I'm looking at the Mashable social media Twitter account. They share lots of great tips on social media, how to get started with social media, what's effective in social media. Great resource to follow for you guys. If you have more questions, I highly recommend them. I go to them and follow them whenever I have questions about some social media stuff. So anyways, great resource for you guys. So let's say I wanted to retweet one of their tweets. So you can do that a couple of different ways. Let's go to this first tweet right here, the most recent tweet that they've shared. The first way you could do it is, as you can see when you hover over it, there are a few options that come up. One of them, the middle one, is retweet. So it's very simple. If you want to retweet that tweet, I can just click that. A little pop-up will open, and it asks you if you really want to retweet this tweet to your followers. If I click retweet, then it shows this little arrow kind of circulating, showing that I've resent it out. And now when I go to my page, my Twitter account, if I look at my tweets, my most recent tweets, it shows Mashable social media, the tweet that I just retweeted. It shows that at the very top of my tweets, and under it says retweeted by Josh Allen. So now all of my followers are seeing this in their feed. They're seeing this Mashable social media. They're seeing their tweet, and then it says retweeted by Josh Allen. Another way that you could do this, let me get back to the Mashable Twitter account. So another way you could do this is we could copy their tweet. We can click compose new tweet, and I've already got it written out here. But what you could do is you could type RT and then at mash social media. So retweet. This is a retweet of the Mashable social media Twitter account. Basically, that's what that's saying. And then you can do colon and then paste in the actual tweet right there. So we can do that this way. So I can tweet that. And now when we go back to my Twitter account, you can see I've retweeted it a different way. So that's kind of the old school, the old way of retweeting. Back before they had the actual retweet button, people would just type RT and then mention the person's name and then paste in the tweet. So those are a few different ways. If you still have more questions about how to do that on your Twitter account, feel free to give me a call or email me, and I can definitely help you out with that. So let me get back into the slide deck real quick. All right, so we've covered retweets. Next, we're going to talk about having a relevant following. So a big question on Twitter is, do you want quality followers or quantity? So quality over quantity, which one is it? And I say, you really want a little of both. You want a lot of followers, but you don't want to have 6,000 followers that are made up of 6,000 bots or fake Twitter accounts. You want, a good portion of those to be actual actual people, actual businesses, actual Twitter accounts. There are a lot of fake Twitter accounts that are made and just don't really have much of a following and don't really carry much weight. So make sure it's a good mix of both of those, and you'll be fine. So relevant following, that really means you're getting mentions, you're getting retweets, and you're getting replies. So basically, if you have a relevant following, the people that are following you, will engage in conversation with you over Twitter. And if you aren't seeing any mentions, or you're not seeing any retweets, or not even seeing any replies, then that means that no one really cares right now. So it could be due to the fact that, you know, your followers could be just fake Twitter accounts that don't really you know, interact much on Twitter, or it could be due, again, to the fact that you need to change the way that you are tweeting. So just keep that in mind. Having a relevant following is obviously really important. We want to, when we use Twitter, we want to engage with our target audience and our target market. We don't really want to go outside of that. So just keep that in mind as you're gaining a following. So one way to help facilitate that, or to facilitate gaining a relevant following, is to have frequent and real conversations on Twitter. And I know this is kind of weird to, you know, kind of cliche to, or ironic to say real conversations when we're talking about social media, you know, using the internet instead of talking in person. But again, this will really help in the long run in gaining more traction on Twitter, and again, hopefully you'll be able to see an increase in your ROI because of it. So the way that we can create frequent real conversations is to first initiate conversations. So, you know, ask questions in your tweets where, you know, people can respond to, you know, something that's thought-provoking. We don't want just yes/no type questions. We want questions where people can actually respond and share their opinion and their viewpoints on. And that's, you know, a great example of a way to initiate conversations. Another way to initiate conversations is to respond to other tweets. So let's say you're following, just going back to Mashable, let's say you're following Mashable. You can reply to one of their tweets. Let's say the last tweet that we were looking at, if I had a comment about that link that they shared, I could click the reply button and type in my response there, and then they'd be able to see it, and you know, they'd be able to respond to me. So that's kind of a way to start a conversation. You'll also really want to reply to mentions. When people mention you in their tweets, it means a lot to them if you respond to them. You know, say, hey, thanks for sharing my tweet, or even if they didn't retweet it, even if it was just mentioned, you know, just respond to them. Let them know that you're aware of them mentioning you. And then we just want to keep, you know, perpetuating conversations on Twitter. So keep the conversation going as long as you can. I mean, obviously, don't drag it out if you feel like it's dragging out. But you know, keep that conversation going, and people will really be able to see that you're someone worth following, basically. So you know, we have these down here at the bottom. Did you hear the news? Kind of starts the conversation. You know, you can mention someone. You know, you got that right, Mashable or whatever, and then, you know, just another way to kind of perpetuate the conversation. What do you think about this? Or, you know, what do you think about blank? Sorry about that calendar appointment popping up there. So anyways, again, try and keep the conversation going. Act like you would in person. So just how you would talk in person, talk like that on Twitter. People are very real on Twitter. So, and then kind of the last thing is to ask yourself these questions: how many conversations did you have this week on Twitter? How many times were you mentioned on Twitter this week? And also, how many times were you retweeted on Twitter this week? Kind of keep track of that. It's always good to be informed as a business, especially with social media. It's great for PR purposes and obviously advertising purposes. You really want to be aware of the people that are engaging with you, how much they're engaging with you, when they're engaging with you, and by doing so, by being informed, you'll be able to obviously see your success on Twitter. You'll be able to directly measure your success. So that's all that I have for this week on how to measure your success on Twitter. I know it was pretty brief. I'll be sending out the recording so that you'll be able to go through this again. I'll also attach the slides as a PDF document, so you'll be able to have those for your own reference and resources. If you guys have questions about anything that has to do with Twitter, even if it's beyond measuring your success on Twitter, then feel free to give me a call or email me. Again, our email is pageinksupport@orangesoda.com, and I'll be happy to respond and help you find answers to those questions. Thanks again for coming to this week's webinar, and we will see you next week. Thanks.